From Lake Mississippi to Big Green and everything in between, we're talking about what's happening in your hometown. This is Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Go up or down?
It beautiful day across Dodge County and all of our hometowns. Good morning and happy Friday. Welcome to Hometown Today here on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Amy Hudson here with you in the Slumberland Furniture Studios, and we're also streaming live now from the Daily Dodge TV studios. So check us out at dailydodge.com. Looking forward to having a conversation with our guests this morning as we welcome Roger Noll and Anita Strike to the airwaves. We are going to be focusing on Starkweather home movies from the 1920s and the 1930s, taking a little trip back in time. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning. Good to be here.
Thank you for being here. We greatly appreciate it. It's a big day here because we're kicking off Brat Fry season 2024.
Exciting.
So after the show, we can head over to Ballweg Implement.
Ballweg,
For
okay.
$2, we get that tasty Pernat premium brat and a beverage. And we're going to definitely stay hydrated because we have a lot to talk about here
Right.
this morning on Hometown Today. We'll also be checking in with Sandy from McKinstry's in downtown Beaver Dam, McKinstry's Home Furnishings. We will be back with Roger and Anita here on Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
It's Randy from Professional Floor Covering, making sure you don't miss what's happening in your hometown. It's Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Welcome back to Hometown Today here on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Amy Hudson here with you in the Slumberland Furniture Studios. We are also streaming live from the Daily Dodge TV studios at dailydodge.com, so please check us out there. Make sure you join us as we kick off Brat Fry Season 2024. Your destination today between 11 and 1 is Ballweg Implement in Beaver Dam. Oh, I can already, even though we're blocks away, you guys, I can hear the sizzle of the brats. Tasty Pernat premium brats and a beverage for $2 today. And you might be lucky enough to say hello to the one and only Tom Ballweg in person. So looking forward to seeing you at Ballweg Implement in Beaver Dam as we kick off Brat Fry Season 2024 today. I always look forward to having conversations on Hometown Today and meeting new people and bringing our friends and neighbors together. And I'm excited because I get to meet two new people, but I'm sure that Roger Noll and Anita Strike are familiar to many of our fans and listeners. I want to thank you again for joining us here today. This coming Tuesday, I can't believe we're already entering the middle of May, but next Tuesday, May 14th, Beaver Dam History with Roger Noll will be a program happening at the Beaver Dam Community Library that is focused on Starkweather home movies from the 1920s and the 1930s. I have a lot of questions because I know nothing about Charlie Starkweather and the films from the 20s and 30s. How are you guys?
We're great.
Very good.
Yeah.
So I had asked off air how long the two of you have known one another. Would you like to share that on air?
Probably 20 some years.
Yes,
At
easily.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really something. And Roger, you have such a reputation for being our local history guy. Is that how the two of you connected through these programs at the Beaver Dam Community Library? Or how did you guys connect all those years ago?
I think Roger was coming into the library researching
Right.
and asking for some help, and he probably knew much more about history at that point of Beaver Dam than I did. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to Sue Mevis. I started with her, and then kind of got passed over to Anita. But yeah, it's been a very fruitful association.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So through those conversations and during that time where the two of you were getting to know one another, is that when the spark happened about you doing Beaver Dam history programs at the Beaver Dam Community Library?
It actually started for the 175th year
The anniversary of the Beaver
of
Dam.
Beaver Dam. I just started doing them about one a month during that year period, and then they were very successful. I mean, a lot of people were showing up for them, and then Anita asked me if I'd like to continue to do them at the library, and so I have been doing that. So that would have been 2016.
2016.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
ever been since then.
And Roger, you had shared, again off air, because we just had a few minutes to talk before we went live this morning, that you had left Beaver Dam in Dodge County for about 20 years and then you returned to your hometown. And of course, went to college. I'm sure had all kinds of really great experiences. But what about your background? Because history is so much part of the conversation that you have with a lot of the community here in Beaver Dam.
Well, it was my major in college. Then I went on to go to law school in Chicago. Came back, practiced a little bit. Came back to get my MBA at Madison. Then hooked up with a company there and became a corporate attorney. Then got promoted from Madison to Milwaukee and then to the home corporate offices in Chicago. And then things just happened that I decided to return to Beaver Dam. And it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made. I really enjoy the city. The people the place, its history, obviously. So.
Yeah, obviously. So let's dive in then to what you're going to focus on Tuesday night at the Beaver Dam Community Library, Beaver Dam History with Roger Noll, Starkweather Films from the 1920s and the 1930s. Who is Charlie Starkweather?
Well, Charlie Starkweather owned a local lumber company and in carpentry and coal and oil. He was one of the great pioneers of Beaver Dam. Came to the city in about 1880 and just kept going. My dad actually worked for him.
Oh my goodness!
For many years, for about 30 years.
Wow.
I'd met him many times over those periods. We'd have Christmas parties and we'd go and meet Charlie. But he was a really fascinating kind of guy. And when you think about it, film just started in the 1910s. That's when you got the Nickelodeons. So to think that this guy in the 1920s started doing home movies is really remarkable. I don't know any other small town city that has a history of home movies like we do here in Beaver Dam. And he didn't buy just one camera, he bought 2 cameras. So a lot of times he's got a camera pointing at him and he's got a camera pointing elsewhere. It's really remarkable. What happened was I was working down at the Historical Society and I kept hearing these stories about these wonderful home movies. And he went everywhere. And I don't know what your home movies were like, but my home movies was, okay, we're going to walk out the front door, and then we're going to walk back in. That was kind of our home movies. But Charlie had a real sense of history rather than do that. He did a little bit of that, but he was just everywhere where an event was taking place, and it's just remarkable. So I'd been hearing these rumors about these home movies. And Joanne Wells, who was the curator at the museum at that time, because I was just fascinated. I thought, oh man, that'd be so wonderful to get these. And so she came in one day and she said, Charlie's granddaughter is out on a house on the lake. I said, really? So I was out there like a week. I was there, and
time to wait.
I was on her doorstep, and her name was Corinne Menser, and here I'm knocking on her door, and who's this guy? And I said, what we really would like is if you've got these home movies that we've heard so much about, we'd really like to see them and do something with them. And she goes, yeah, we don't know what to do with them. We'd probably just end up throwing them away. So she gave me all of these old movies, and it spans from the 1920s to the 1950s.
Wow.
So, 40 years of Beaver Dam history on those movies. So we got those movies, and it was just about this time that we were having a Fred McMurray festival. And his wife, June Haver, the movie star June Haver, came in, and she said, Roger, is there any project that you have going that you could use some money for? And I go, we just got these home movies in. They're 16 millimeter, and we'd really like to convert them. And of course, back then it was converting them to VHS.
Oh my goodness!
It wasn't even converting them to DVD. And she goes, sure, yeah. So she wrote a rather substantial check to us, and we converted them. And then we got them back, and we were just fascinated by what we were seeing. And then what I did was I put them onto DVD and put a soundtrack to it and put them in the appropriate eras.
How long did it take you to go through all those?
Oh gosh, it took a long time.
Yeah, and then to put a soundtrack to them also.
Yeah.
Labor of love.
And then we premiered them at the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater in the old Baptist church. I mean, the place was just, people were hanging from the rafters for that. And then the only other time, I've only shown them twice. The only other time was at the library. At the library, I showed them in 2016, I think.
16 or 15. Yeah.
So, Yeah. So and what I do is when I give my other historical presentations, my PowerPoint presentations on various areas, I will at the very end, whatever I'm talking about, throw in references. I'll show that part of the DVDs, the Starkweather Home Movies, as just the ending part of each one of those presentations. And people would be coming up to me and go, "Where are you getting these films?" And I said, "Well, they're the Starkweather films." And so now, for the third time, if you'd like to see them, and they are just fascinating. I'll just give you a quick rundown of some of the things you can see. You'll see the old county fair, many representations of the county fair. That was where the Wayland Fieldhouse is right now.
Oh, wow.
You'll see industry. Before Kraft cheese, it was Phoenix cheese. You'll see Western Malleables, which was the 5th largest private foundry in the United States. It employed 500 people. You will see snowstorms that you will not believe.
Like real snowstorms.
Real snowstorms. You'll see the building of Hotel Rogers from the ground floor up.
In its glory days?
Yep. You'll see, the new Odeon, the theater. You'll see the Lakeside Pumping Station. You'll see them actually dynamite the hole so that the water comes flying out. You'll see Crystal Lake Beach when it was the Kiwanis Beach. And the amazing fun rides and diving places that they had out at that beach. You'll see a baseball game between the House of David and a black baseball game. You'll see a Horicon Marsh fire that basically destroyed hundreds of acres in the Horicon Marsh. You'll get to see Matty Horn, the great speed skater, Olympic speed skater from Beaver Dam.
What about the toboggan? Are you putting it in this one?
Well, yeah, that would be that'll be actually in the next one. And he not only did Beaver Dam, he also did other stuff too. I usually like to try and start off each one with either a national or a state-related thing. And what he did is he put together this wonderful newsreel of Charles Lindbergh going across the Atlantic, his transatlantic flight. And then Lindbergh comes back to Madison and appears. Lindbergh actually went to school at Madison for a little while. He was an engineer. And one of his main contributors to his flight was Rennebaum, who was once governor of Wisconsin. He owned all the Walgreens down in Madison. But yeah, so Lindbergh actually, you see him fly in the Spirit of St. Louis in the Madison airport. And then they go to Camp Randall Stadium. So you can see Camp Randall Stadium in the 1920s.
Wow, that is amazing.
And then the guy who introduces him is Bob LaFollette.
Oh my
Senator
gosh, Fighting Bob.
LaFollette. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. There's going to be so many great things to see and to hear you talk about next Tuesday night at the Beaver Dam Community Library. Roger Noll with us here this morning on Hometown Today, along with Anita Strike, Information and Community Services Librarian with the Beaver Dam Community Library. Next Tuesday, May 14th, Beaver Dam History with Roger Noll, featuring what, of course, we're talking about, Charlie Starkweather films from the 1920s and the 1930s. This is already such an exciting trip back in time. Looking forward to continuing the conversation with you, Roger and Anita. Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering, your floor, and so much more, and brought to you in part by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in beautiful historic downtown Beaver Dam at 131 Front Street. And I always love it when Sandy and Rick from McKinstry's called to check in, and we have Sandy with us here this morning on Hometown Today. Good morning and happy Friday.
Good morning. Happy Friday to you.
Thank you so much for taking some time to give us a call. How are you this morning, Sandy?
Hey, it is beautiful out.
Oh.
I mean, it is such a great day to look outside and see the blue skies, and everything's turning so green. It's awesome.
I know it really is, and what a fantastic weekend we are going to have to celebrate our moms, our grandmas, our aunties, all those women that are important to us. Perfect weekend for Mother's Day weekend. Sadie, I have to ask you something. I'm wondering if you have dance moves that compare to Rick's, because
he's better at dancing than I am.
I was like, do we get Sandy and Rick Fiegel from McKinstry's Home Furnishings in the Daily Dodge TV studios to have a dance off, because he has some moves.
Yes, he does.
Oh my goodness, you're probably familiar with those dance moves after working together for so many years.
Yes, I've seen him dance many times, and him and Connie can cut up a rug.
It's one of our highest viewed posts on our Facebook page, Sandy. How about that?
Of course.
Well, there's always so many things happening at McKinstry's Home Furnishings, a lot of beautiful things for people to shop for. I know that you've had your area rugs clearance sale happening, and we've been talking an awful lot about that. But today, we want to focus on how people can get comfy, how they can really get a good night's sleep by shopping at McKinstry's Home Furnishings.
Yeah, and so many people put off their mattress purchase, think, oh, it's not a big deal. But you spend a lot of time in bed sleeping, and you want to make sure you're getting good sleep. It's a very important investment to make as a new mattress and foundation. One of the biggest things that has really gone up in sales lately are the adjustable bases.
Yeah.
So you can adjust your head, your feet, just to get that perfect sleeping position that's very comfortable for you. And some of them have massaging options. You can do Bluetooth compatible. There's so many different things. And we have 5 different adjustable bases in our store that we can show you and just have you try out and see all the different things they can do.
Yeah, and there's so many health benefits that go hand in hand with those adjustable bases. I know my husband wants us to get one because I snore, and I apparently snore loudly, but adjustable bases help with things like that.
Yes, definitely. And just think about, when you have that head cold and you just need to prop your head up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just elevating your head a little bit helps the breathing so much.
It really does, and I could use that right now. Allergy season, that affects us all too. And hearing you talk about what an important investment a mattress is, it is because of those sleep benefits that we were talking about. You get an adjustable base in there that makes it better, and when you have an investment like that, you need to protect it with a good mattress protector. It just makes sense.
Yeah, so we have some different mattress protectors. One of them is like just a normal traditional style, and then we have fully encased, which is zipped all the way around. And then there's also something, the company calls it Ice Tech, so it's a cooling top.
Oh.
So, there's cooling gels and stuff in mattresses. They're so popular now, and this mattress protector just gives you that extra level of another type of cooling system close to your body.
That's a really nice option. I like that a lot. You can really take care of everything at McKinstry's when you go in there. When you have that focus, like I'm going to get the best night's sleep ever. I'm going to do it upright. Nice selection of mattresses. Those 5 different adjustable bases, sheet mattress protectors, all that stuff for folks at McKinstry's Home Furnishings.
And the sheets that we have are, sustainable. They're bamboo, they're tencel and stuff, so they're really good quality. And they have the nice deep pockets, so you don't need to worry about your sheets flipping off.
Oh, nice. I've got all the feels right now. Now I'm ready to take a nap in comfort, Sandy.
There you go.
When can folks come see you and Dancing Rick down at McKinstry's Home Furnishings? When are you open?
Okay, we are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, and Saturday from 9 to 5. And don't forget, tomorrow morning, 8 to noon, is the Farmers Market by Uga Brewing Company over there.
Absolutely. Go down there, get some fresh produce, some other things to enjoy over the weekend. And you have a good weekend. Happy Mother's Day, Sandy.
We'll have popcorn tomorrow, too, if anybody wants to stop in and pick up popcorn.
Excellent. I love the popcorn at McKinstry's. It always smells so good, and it tastes really good. And, folks will come in and say hello, do some shopping, enjoy that popcorn before or after the farmer's market. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Happy Mother's Day, Sandy.
Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you. Sandy with McKinstry's Home Furnishings in beautiful historic downtown Beaver Dam at 131 Front Street. Amy Hudson here with you in the Slumberland Furniture Studios and the Daily Dodge TV studios as we stream live at dailydodge.com. We will continue our conversation with Roger Noll and Anita Strike. Roger and Anita getting ready for Beaver Dam History with Roger Noll, featuring the Starkweather films from the 20s and 30s. This program will be happening at the Beaver Dam Community Library on Tuesday, Tuesday, May 14th. Yep, we're already fast approaching mid-May. 6 o'clock on Tuesday is when that will get going, and looking forward to hearing more details from Roger and talking with Anita next as we continue our conversation on Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
It's time.
Neighbor, this is Randy, owner of Professional Floor Covering, welcoming you back to Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Morning and welcome back to Hometown Today here on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Amy Hudson with you in the Summerland Furniture Studios and also the Daily Dodge TV studios as we stream live this morning on dailydodge.com. So if you are checking out the stream, you saw one of our guests this morning, Roger Noll, doing all these cool like flying motions with his hands because, we were talking about a possible spaceship, you were saying?
That's right. Well, I used to, when I was at the Historical Society, I used to just take out these, these big volumes of newspapers that were bound. And I was going through the 1880s, and I found this one article. It was front page news. The headline was basically, "Kids come screaming into town." And
That's quite a headline.
Yeah, and they were, and you go on to read that the kids were hysterical. They couldn't calm them down, and they were out at Denning's Point, which is basically just as you'd go out Denning Street all the way to the lake. That's where Denning's Point was, and it's pretty much a marsh back then. And what they described was, they described a ship that rose out of the marsh. It was cigar-shaped. But remember, I'm going to show this here. Cigars back then were tapered at both ends.
Okay.
So they said this ship rose up, was making a humming sound, had bright lights that went around and around and around and around, and just hovered there for minutes, and then just like shot out of you-know-what, just took off into space. And this was in the 1880s. So,
wow. And when you mentioned Beaver Dam newspapers, Anita, I know that one of the things that you want to talk about this morning is something that you recently finished at the Beaver Dam Community Library.
It's been a 5-year project to digitize all of our microfilm at the library. So that's all the newspaper archive that we have on microfilm. So we finally completed that, and it's now available on newspapers.com. If you have a personal subscription, you can get it at home, or otherwise come into the library. You can search your name, you can search your friends' names, you can search for spaceships, whatever you're looking for. It's just a keyword search. You can customize the search for date searches or even legal articles. If you're looking for something to prove something, you can look that up too.
Well, congratulations on completing that 5 years.
I'm so excited about it.
And just to hear microfilm, that blasted me back to the 80s in my hometown of Monroe doing projects for schools.
oh, that's what it was just 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Congratulations again.
Yeah.
Anita Strike, Information and Community Services Librarian with the Beaver Dam Community Library, with us here this morning on Hometown Today, along with Roger Noll. And I like that you put on your notes here, it says Roger Noll, a guy. He's a very knowledgeable guy, and you can definitely check out his program at the Beaver Dam Community Library next Tuesday, May 14th. Beaver Dam History with Roger Noll, focused on the Charlie Starkweather films from the 20s and the 30s. We will continue our conversation with Roger and Anita as Hometown Today continues here on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
It's Randy from Professional Floor Covering. You're listening to Hometown Today on the 5,000 watt flamethrower on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
It is a beautiful, beautiful Friday as we launch into a beautiful, beautiful weekend for Mother's Day weekend, making our way to a high of 70. Yep, I just decided to round that up. 67 is probably more the reality. It is gorgeous outside already. Perfect day as we kick off Brat Fry 2024 season, the Brat Fry season. This is all happening at Balwick Implement in Beaver Dam. So join us from 11 to 1 for $2. You get that tasty Pernat Brat and a beverage, and you might be able to meet the one and only Tom Balweg in person. And Roger, I know you mentioned you're going to head on over there after Hometown
Absolutely.
Today. Anita, are you going to go brat lunch it up with
No,
Roger?
I have to go back to work.
And you are something else, Mr. Noll, because as we wrapped up with Sandy from McKinstry's Home Furnishings, Hometown Today presented in part by McKinstry's Home Furnishings, I was like, oh, I love Sandy's voice. I could just listen to her voice all the time. It's so soft, it's so soothing, and you smile and you're like, oh, she's my cousin.
Yep.
Neither one of you guys said anything. I love that. Roger Noll and Anita Strike joining us here this morning on Hometown Today. Coming up on Tuesday, May 14th at the Beaver Dam Community Library, Roger will be there for a program, Beaver Dam History with Roger Noll, and focused on the Charlie Starkweather films from the 20s and the 30s. It has been wonderful, Roger, hearing the story about how you knocked on the door of Charlie's granddaughter, and when you learned she had all of these great films, the process that it took to bring them in such a state that we can now enjoy them, and hearing about all of the things from Beaver Dam back in the day. You referred to Charlie as one of the pioneers of Beaver
definitely.
Dam, and off air I was talking about how much I love Swan Park and that band shell, which is just beautiful, and you got all excited and you said that is one of the things featured in one of his films.
Yeah, like I said, he does. He goes everywhere, and I usually start with like either a national or a state story. And in the 1930s one, I start with he went to the Chicago World's Fair in 1933, and that was where the band shell that was created by Ford Motor Company, they copied that to make our band shell here at Swan City Park. And in the 1930s film, you could actually see the opening day of the band shell.
That is amazing. I want to see that because I think that is so beautiful. We have a lot of really great performances to look forward to at the band shell this spring and summer, and a lot of great programs at the Beaver Dam Community Library. When we talk about what Roger will be doing there, this is not his first rodeo at the Beaver Dam Community Library, but Tuesday night, Beaver Dam History with Roger Noll, focused on the Starkweather films from the 20s and 30s. Really, Anita, just one of the many programs that are open to the public to enjoy.
Yes, we have so many programs for all different ages. They're free and open to anyone who's interested. We have some regular programs every month. We have Craft Club, which is on the third Thursday. And this month it is taking a whisk and making a dragonfly that you can put in your garden or something like that.
Oh my
So
goodness.
just like a regular kitchen whisk and folding it and putting beads on it.
Oh, that's
to make
fun.
it beautiful. And that's at 10 o'clock on Thursday, the 16th. And then we show regular movies at the library. And not just historical movies, but popular movies that people are interested in. So we have one for kids on the 17th, and that's a musical about a man who loves chocolate. So I'll let you guess what that is. And that's at 4:30, kind of geared towards the after-school crowd. And then on Saturday, as part of Mental Health Awareness Month, we're showing Mission Joy, Finding Happiness in Troubled Times. And this is a documentary of the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu talking about both men have gone through tremendous difficulty in their lives, but how to find joy in everyday life after going through difficult times. And it's a wonderful documentary. And that's at 1 o'clock on Saturday, the 18th.
Yeah, that's something to look forward to. That sounds
Definitely,
powerful.
definitely.
Yeah.
And then also for Mental Health Awareness Month, NAMI of Dodge County dropped off some different activities for kids, positive affirmation vinyl water bottle stickers, and some coloring sheets, and some information about mental health. So we find that really important at the library and want to support NAMI of Dodge County.
Absolutely.
And then one of our other regular programs is the Genealogy Forum. So I call this a self-help group for genealogists. I usually bring a couple different subjects to talk about, but if someone's struggling with something they're trying to research in their family history, we kind of drop that and kind of help them get through those barriers. And that's from 1 to 3, and that's on the third Tuesday of the month. So this month it'll be on the 21st. And then something super exciting, one of our library college employees at the library has written a book. So we're hosting him. His name is
goodness.
Weston Fields. He graduated from Beaver Dam High School, and he's come back for part of the summer to work with us again this year. But he wrote a dystopian book, and I haven't read it yet, but it's called The Guardians of Knats. And we'll have pizza at 5:30 and then at 6 o'clock on the 21st as well with Weston Fields.
Wow, so
Yeah.
many great things coming up. And I can't help but notice what is on May 31st here on
Right.
your calendar in
Right.
red. Oh, I talk about the days going fast. We're quickly approaching mid-May and wow, school year. Bye-bye.
Right, end of the school year. All year long, during the school week, we have the hour right after school gets out. We have our meeting room open to teens that they can just come and hang out and be themselves. If they want to do homework, they can, but just chit chat with their friends. And sometimes we have activities. So on the 31st is the last day of Teen Zone, and Miss Sam is going to have a little party for them.
Well, there's a lot to celebrate. The kids work so hard all throughout the school year. And,
Definitely.
those days are long for them, too, between just what happens in class. If
Right.
they're in sports, they have extracurriculars. So that is something to celebrate, and nice that you'll do that at the Beaver Dam Community Library. This morning here on Hometown Today, Anita Strike, the Information and Community Services Librarian with Beaver Dam Community Library, is with us. And Roger Noll, a guy, those are his words. Roger has a program coming up Tuesday at the Beaver Dam Community Library, Tuesday the 14th. Beaver Dam History with Roger Noll, focused on the Charlie Starkweather films from the 20s and the 30s. And it has been so interesting hearing about these films, Roger, and the things that Charlie would film and the places he would go, and knowing that we'll have a chance to enjoy the program on Tuesday. Are you ready?
Oh, sure. In fact, I watched them this morning just to make sure I had it right.
When Anita was talking about the 5 years that it took for them to digitize all of the Beaver Dam newspapers, how long did it take you to go through all of these films and get them on VHS? And now do you have them on DVD?
Right. Yeah, but they weren't in any specific order, so I had to pick stuff out and then put it on.
You should tell them what the format was that you were picking it out
Oh
of.
boy, is this going to blow my mind?
What?
The reels,
Oh,
weren't they?
Actual reel-to-reel film?
yeah. I mean, that's what it was. But no, we had them transferred to VHS.
Okay.
And then those originals came back, but they were all, like I said, they were all mixed up. So I had to go in there and, okay, this little slice goes into this part, this little slice goes into that part, this little slice goes into that part. So then I originally went from VHS to VHS, added the soundtrack to it. It's just basically music underneath. And then, years later, when DVD became very popular, I was able to transfer the VHS to the DVD.
Nice. So looking forward to your program Tuesday night, 6 o'clock at the Beaver Dam Community
It'll
Library.
be about 2 hours. So
When you were making your way through all of that footage, and I can't imagine how mind-blowing that was to see all of those things from so long ago in Beaver Dam. Was there something that blew your mind more than anything?
Well, yeah. Charlie was out, and there was they were raising a barn. Grebino, I believe, was the company. And way on top was a guy that was hammering that barn together. And I looked pretty close, and yeah, that was my dad.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that is mind-blowing. Thank you so much for being here today. Looking forward to Tuesday night, 6 o'clock at the Beaver Dam Community Library.
Could I just say on June 4th, a month later, we'll be showing the 40s and 50s.
Okay, so there's more to come.
So we'll
from
be
Charlie
back here to
Starkweather.
talk about that.
Well, I look forward to it. It's been really nice having both of you with us today. Thank you for
very
your
much.
time.
It's great being here.
Of course. Roger Noll, a guy, and we have Anita Strike, Information and Community Services Librarian with Beaver Dam Community Library, here with us this morning on Hometown Today. Make plans to join them at the Beaver Dam Community Library Tuesday night, 6 o'clock. Beaver Dam History with Roger Noll, focused on the films that we've been talking about today, Charlie Starkweather films from the 20s and 30s, and then you can look forward to films from the 40s and 50s on June 4th. So plan accordingly. We look forward to having you back to talk about everything that will be happening on June 4th. Hometown Today brought to you in part by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in beautiful historic downtown Beaver Dam, and presented by Professional Floor Covering, your floor, and so much more, where May is all about the gold tag sale at Professional Floor Covering. All the flooring on sale, every carpet in the store on sale for you. So much to choose from. None of the cheapy stuff, only the good stuff, between LVP, Stanton Carpet, the Abbey Carpet, and even if you want to do some upgrades in your kitchen, Randy and the team will make that easy for you too, with a great selection of countertops. And with your countertop purchase, you will get a free undermount sink. It is the May Gold Tag Sale at Professional Floor Covering, your floor, and so much more. Sandy Heyer, the one and only, and a special guest in with us in the Slumberland Furniture Studios and the Daily Dodge TV studios for Senior Solutions at 1110 here on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Wade Bates.